Okay, so let me go to Godel and see what people want me to look at. Okay, Galt. Let's take a look at Galt. I don't even have it on here. I think it's Galectin. Okay, so whenever I look at any stock, I try to look at the price, shares, market cap, cash, debt, and enterprise value. That's the 6 things that you got to look at for any company. Sometimes it's just called capital structure. I like ADMA. Okay, so it's a $3 stock with 63 million shares outstanding, so that makes it 181 million market cap. Okay. Following, chat? Are you following me? Okay, how much cash does this company have? First question I always want to ask. They have 27 million. How much debt does this company have? They actually have debt, which for development stage biotech you don't really want. Oh my gosh, they have a lot of debt. Okay, so adjusting for the net cash they have negative 80 million in cash, so the enterprise value is 258 million. Okay. What's Alexion Helix? I've never heard of that. Yeah, I think AVXL is a short. I just don't know when. Okay. Shut up, kitty. They have Series A 12% convertible stock. That's interesting. Get out of here, you stupid. Shut up. It's 12.2. It is 12.2. My bad. Thank you for mentioning that. No, kitty, that's my Popeye. Yeah, Destiny is an embarrassment. Nick Fuentes, an embarrassment. Okay, so Galectin Therapeutics, Galectin Science, whatever that is. Who is this guy? Richard Uihlein? Anybody know him? Oh. Okay, super rich dude. Uihlein. Harrison, what are you talking about? I love it when people try to give me advice. Charlie, great question. All the drug companies are the same. every drug company is the same business model. Try to make drugs. Try to get them approved. Yes, I have the date wrong. I can't change it now. Oh, yeah, this looks so shitty. Last time I looked at Galectin, it was shitty. Okay, belapectin. Okay. Oh, they have data coming, I guess. This is almost certainly 0. Pectins can't be therapeutic. But let's look at the data, I guess. I gotta get that. I gotta look at that again. I'm running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Yeah, Uihlein looks like he's basically funding the company. Shut up. Shut up, kitty. Izaki. We're focusing right now on Galectin Therapeutics. Let's see. Shut up. I have to eat this. BS Cat. Yeah. So I don't think the Anavex drug works. I think it's kind of a scam company. So let me show you guys some of the Anavex data. This is like Sava Part 2. Okay, so I want you to look at this chart and tell me what's wrong with it. Anybody? Come up with an answer. Let me know. Maybe I can reward you in chat. You guys see it? Ah, good question, Cheesy. Well, it's a little more subtle than anything you guys are talking about. Placebo's not better, no. No, BS Cat, no. So the point is that the drug is supposed to work through this like rapidly acting mechanism, and it doesn't separate until 48 weeks. There's a lot of problems with this data, but the actual problem that people aren't talking about is that it's not statistically different until 48 weeks. So up to 36 weeks, it's sort of the same. The Sigma one is not real. No. There's nothing about Sigma 1 that this is related to this drug. This drug is just a muscarinic. So it's a pretty straightforward problem. Muscarinics should separate right away. And then if you look at the patient participants, I don't know how more people got added back at the study at 48 weeks, which is probably enough to separate it. Yeah, I don't think so, William. The Sigma's sort of... I don't think this drug has anything to do with Sigma. And the patient numbers here are very, very weird. So it's not just that the study failed, which is important. It's that the drug doesn't work. Those are two very sort of different things. Because the study cannot not succeed, and there's a... No, Frantic, you didn't nail it. So, quiet. Nobody nailed it. Yeah, see, the problem is, William, like, this is exactly what the Cassava people said. They looked at bad data. They were like, well, if this is what's happening, then maybe this, that's just not good. When you have to tie yourself in knots to explain something, that's really not what you want to be doing. No. Like, the drug should just start working. It shouldn't magically start working at between 36 and 48 weeks. And then if you look at 36 and 48, the number of patients should go down because people drop out over time in clinical trials. This is like actually impossible for them to like rejoin. It's just not how clinical trials work. Once you're out, you're out. You can't go back in the trial. So something very weird about this whole thing. And everything looks normal while the study's failing. And then here, when the study starts working, everything looks screwy. So yeah, it's very, very shady. I think just small biotech companies have a desire, need to sort of put their data in the best light. No BS, Cat. I know a lot about this. You cannot gain study participants over time. You can only lose them. I've seen 10,000 of these. Don't tell me what's normal and what isn't. No, you can't. Once you miss assessment, you're out of the trial. I'm shorted now. This is AVXL. There you go, Susan. Susan knows. They have cash. They got plenty of cash. No one actually invests in this company other than retail. Everyone thinks it's a scam. Nobody likes the CEO. See, retail never gets to meet management. If you met management in this company, you'd run away. I'm not sure when it's going to go down, but it's going to go down at some point. But again, I'm not ready to tell you to drop everything and short it just yet. We'll wait for that. Yeah, crappy data. The pattern is pretty clear on these. Crappy data is just crappy data, and companies spin it, and some people believe it because they don't know the space, and they want to convince themselves that they're right. And it doesn't happen that often. It's when a company really has to, like, they got everything lying on one drug, one asset, and they don't want to admit failure, and they want to always look at it through the best lens. But the problem is that eventually just blows up on you. All right, we're going to finish this John Galt. Looking in on our pairs trade, both sides are losing. It's not what you want. So we are going to double this. Let's double this pair trade. Let's see if this works.
Order partially filled.
Okay. We're getting filled on that side of it.
Order filled.
Okay.
Order filled.
Great. So we've got $11,000 whopping amount long Amgen, and a little less than that, 10,000 short Novo. So let's see how that goes. Ladder attack strategy, exactly. Yeah, the funniest thing about AVXL is this really old drug that's off patent, and they're not willing to file in the US, which is really sad and scary. It's going to be down 90% someday. It's just a question of when. All right, let's finish looking at Galectin. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about the AVXL short. It could, at some point, get to the point of cassava. I mostly know pharma and software secondarily, but pharma is my number one kind of knowledge. I spent my whole life looking at drugs. It's not so much a report. The data's kind of out. The data's out for the drug. They have not put a publication out. They will get published. When the data gets published, I think you'll see the problems in the data. The data's been out for a really long time, which tells you something. It's not good when your phase 3 trial is 2 years old and you haven't gotten approval or filed or anything. They finally filed in Europe, which is, again, very strange. Europe's not known to be kind to shitty Alzheimer's drugs. For example, they said no to the donanemab, for example. So anyway, let's look at Galt and see how this company does, what this company does. Yeah, it's sort of a Hail Mary. Everything's on GitHub, yeah. This is another really low quality company. Yeah, I hear you. 8S-Cog is sort of the standard. They really failed the functional endpoint in a huge way. Cassava had phase 3 clinical trial data that did not work. This is a very confusing company. That doesn't really have any real data. This is Galectin. Oh, this is an infusion? They don't even have an oral? WTF. Oh man, this thing's a dog. This is a good short too. although there was a change here in portal pressure. I just don't know if this is relevant. I don't think it is. It's basically within placebo. Well, it's not so much about Nash. There could always be more drugs for Nash. The question is, does it work at all? If something doesn't work at all, you could just short. Huma's dropping a bit. I wonder if the FDA decision is leaking or something. Who knows? I'm always in the back of my mind worrying about those types of things. I mean, ADAS-Cog is really good for measuring how fast somebody's cognition is declining, which is kind of the job of Alzheimer's, right? ARIA, I mean, it doesn't have any ARIA because the drug doesn't do anything. So that's like saying, oh, I love drugs that are placebos because they're not dangerous. Doesn't really make sense, if that makes sense to you. Yeah, if it doesn't do anything, it's not a benefit that it's safe because it's supposed to be safe, if that makes sense. Yeah, I like farming. I don't know CADL. Let me put the stock name on here since everybody's asking. Okay, is that better? I don't know, Steve. That's sort of a personal question. If I don't know you that well, it's hard for me to tell you what job you should do and stuff like that. This data's not that bad. I just don't know if I want an IV carbohydrate. It's not so bad. It's called belapectin. This data, I mean, I'm very suspicious that this drug could be useful, but shush, kitty. I love you. Oh, this is a subgroup. Okay, this is a subgroup. Okay, yeah, it's probably a 0. Never mind. Shush, kitty, shush. Okay, so I'll call it quits on Galectin for now.